friends. Welcome back to Bible Talk. Today, let's talk about the resurrection of Jesus. After Jesus Christ died on the cross, his body was put into a tomb by a man named Joseph of Arimathea. Now, this tomb, T-O-M-B, is a word that means a family grave. And Jesus is put into Joseph's tomb where his body waits for 3 days. But then on the third day, which is Sunday, the reason Christians celebrate Jesus' life on Sunday, women came to put oil and spices on Jesus' body for burial and found that the tomb was empty. Now, there was a big stone in front of the tomb that was heavy, almost impossible to move alone. But it was moved out of the way, and the women saw a vision of angels. Angels are messengers from God. Sometimes they appear as people or as bright lights or other creatures. But these angels said to the women, Jesus is not with the dead. He is with the living. Go tell his disciples that he is alive. Now, when the women run back to tell the disciples that Jesus is gone from the tomb, the disciples don't believe them. It sounds crazy that someone could come back from the dead. Only a crazy person or a liar would say something like that, right? Well, if it really happened, and it did. So Jesus' disciples are trying to figure out what the women are talking about. 2 of them, Peter and John, go to see the tomb and they find that it is empty. They are wondering what could have happened. And then when everyone is gathered together, the disciples suddenly see Jesus himself appear to them. Now, this is called the resurrection. Resurrection is a really helpful word in English, and it means something comes back to life. You could say, the new boss resurrected the company, or you could use it in other ways like that. The mechanic resurrected the car. But a real resurrection, like the one that happened to Jesus, is when someone is dead and then comes back to life. Because of Jesus' resurrection, we as Christians believe that we will be resurrected when God brings us back to life through the power of Jesus. So Jesus appears to his disciples. He tells them why he came to earth, why he died for their sins, and why he came back from the dead. And then he says he is going on to heaven. Now, this is called the Ascension to heaven. And we'll talk more about the ascension of Jesus to heaven and his promise to return from heaven in a later episode. But for now, remember, Jesus has resurrected from the dead. And when you believe that, you will understand that you too don't have to be afraid of death, but you can trust that God, who made all of the life on this planet, can bring you back to life. And that's why we call the resurrection of Jesus the good news or the gospel. Gospel is a word that just means good news. It's from a Greek word, evangelion. So we'll learn about that later. But for now, the good news is that Jesus is resurrected.